Hello and welcome to day 13. There's an idea that has fallen out of favor. It used to be really popular, it used to be a big idea, which is the notion of your will, like a person's will. And that will could be like a muscle that could be developed over time. I tend to talk in terms of intent. And as you practice your intent and developing your intent and setting your intent on something, the more often you follow through on your intent, even if things are tough, then the stronger the muscle of intent becomes. Will, I think, has fallen out of favor just because of language and the way language has gone and the associations people have with the word will. I will do what I've said I've done. I will make this happen. It is my will that this occurs. Or when you finish your life and go to the other one, you leave your last will and testament. You will it to be. But let's be old-fashioned again for a minute and let's imagine that will is a muscle and that, I don't know, you have different people. You have 20 people in front of you with different levels of will. They have a different levels of strength of will. And they're all trying to get something done. Aren't the people who have a greater dose of this characteristic or trait or strength called will, aren't they more likely to get it done? What is the thing that you have inside of you, or that anybody has inside of them, that allows them to follow through on a stated objective even when things get tough, even when things are hard? Because it's your capacity to move forward whilst the flak is coming the other way that really distinguishes whether you're going to win or lose, whether you're going to achieve that objective or not. What is it that allows you to endure that flak? What is it that causes you to keep going despite the flak? I spoke to a young friend of mine the other day about training, and we were talking about going to the gym, and she said, well, some days I'm just not in the mood. And I went, oh, okay, and I left it. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, can I just ask you a question? Do you only go to the gym when you want to go to the gym? And she was like, yeah, if I don't have a mood, English isn't their first language, says if I don't have the mood to go, I'm not gonna go. And I was like, oh, do you know that I go to the gym so that I want to go to the gym? And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I have a little negotiation with myself, and I'm like, I'm really not in the mood for this. But you know what? I'll go to the gym and I'll warm up for 15 minutes. And if I really still feel like this, the way I'm sat on the couch, I'll leave. I'll just go home. I started doing that when I was 21. Do you want to know how many times I've actually left the gym after warming up 15 minutes? Maybe twice. And I think I had the flu. I think I was sick. I was genuinely sick. So there's been literally this phase of my life, probably thousands of times I've gone to the gym where I haven't wanted to go, but I went so that I would want to go. I'm making a point here. Sometimes you just have to start doing it, even if you're not in the mood and the stars haven't aligned and it's not right on your astrology chart and your chi isn't synchronized. You will be in a bad mood sometimes. You will be kind of cranky when you're doing stuff. But that's the nature of discipline. That's the nature of will. You do it and you're outside your comfort zone. When I was growing up, when I was doing martial arts, a lot of the martial arts movies that I really liked were from China. And one of my favorite characters, he's actually a real historical person, was Wang Feihong. Played by Jet Li. He's been played by numerous people, but I really like the one played by Jet Li. And one of the problems with me internalizing that character in a lot of Chinese Kung Fu movies was when I moved into MMA, sportive combat, and particularly combatives, I couldn't transfer what I'd internalized across. In the movies, everything is smooth. In the movies, the guy doesn't sweat. When Jet Li as Wang Feihong is fighting like 20 people, he does a lot of that with one hand. He's got like the long hair, the way they used to do it, they shave it to there and they have it long at the back. And then he's got like a long silk robe on. And the cool thing, what makes Wang Feihong the myth, not the real person who apparently was a bit of a gangster, but the myth was this was truly the Taoist man. He was a doctor, he was a man of science, a man of medicine, a man of poetry, but he could also punch you to death. So it was this yin-yang embodiment of the highly cultured, like the Chinese equivalent. In the West, we have the Renaissance man. In the Chinese culture, if you look at like the I Ching, they would have the concept of the superior man, a truly developed man. But he never sweated. He was never out of breath. So I internalized this idea of control and of comfort and of being inside the comfort zone. But then, of course, when I went and did nightclub security and I was brawling with drunks, I found that that isn't what happened. I did sweat and I did get out of breath and I was disheveled. But the intent that you apply when you are removing somebody from a bar who doesn't want to leave, your will has to be bigger than their will. Your intent has to be bigger than their intent. I asked one of my friends who's another doorman, a guy called Jack, very good martial artist, high level in jiu-jitsu, not Brazilian, the original Japanese jiu-jitsu. And he could do traditional Japanese arm locks on people in fights. And he could do traditional jiu-jitsu throws that are quite complicated. And I was like, I'd been working in the combatives community for years at that point. And I'm like, do you know there are people in the combatives community who say that this doesn't work, but I've just seen you do it? How are you doing this? And he said, my intention to put the arm lock on or to do the complicated throw is stronger than their intention for it to not happen, and that's why it happens. In life, to get things done, you will have to break boundaries, your own and other people's, and life's boundaries. Life has its own boundaries that we have to push through. It is not comfortable all the time. It is not slick. It is not smooth. There will be awkward, embarrassing, hard moments where you will feel out of place, out of character, and way outside of your comfort zone. But that's life. If you want to get anything done that has any meaning, you really have to embrace that. And developing the intent and the will to see it through, no matter what's coming back the other way, whether it's a physical fight or a metaphorical fight, is key to that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time and for your attention, and I look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow. Cheers.